Hello and welcome to the 96th episode of Fur, Fins, and Feathers. During the holiday season, I had the pleasure of visiting several craft fairs throughout the South Coast area and into Rhode Island. And one of the most entertaining and wonderful people that I met during my travels is Kylie Faison from Dartmouth now.
Yes, now
and
from
you
Dartmouth.
are a well-known artist. Welcome. Your work was amazing. I was really, really impressed by what I saw.
I really appreciate that. Thank
And
you.
I am very honored to have you here. Your artwork is amazing. How did you start?
So I actually never picked up watercolor until I went to Lesley University. And so in like 2017, I started working with my aunt who does animal rescue. And so I brought in some of the very first watercolors that I did. And right here we have monkey. And over here we have slowpoke. And these two were at the time adoptable dogs from Islip Animal Shelter, in addition to some other ones that I have. This was Rory. And then these names, I'm very forgetful. But we started off by I started off by painting animals from different shelters. And from there, my aunt showed my work to some clients, and it just kind of took off.
You went to BCC after you graduated from Old Rochester.
Yes.
You went to BCC for a couple of years.
And I got my art degree, and then I transferred thinking I wanted to do art therapy. So I went to Lesley University, and from there I went into art teaching. So now I have my master's in art education.
At Lesley, from Lesley.
From Lesley, yep.
Very, very good. Did you always love art?
Yes. Actually, I started art in the bowling alley in Mattapoisett. My mom would bring in any and all art supplies, and she would just set me up while she was bowling, and that's really where it all started. But my family is all into different art as well, so I definitely get my creative side from my mom's side of the family.
And your career has really taken off.
I've been doing pretty well. I've painted over 100 pet portraits, watercolor specifically, which are all of these examples that I have.
Some beautiful, beautiful examples of your work. We have a German Shepherd, a French Bulldog, an Australian cattle dog. You've done a lot of different breeds.
Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite breed?
I'm biased because I have a blue-nosed pit bull, but I also have a chocolate lab. So those have to be my top two. And my chocolate lab was my first dog. And I've never had a commissioned chocolate lab, though. Can you believe that?
No, but it will happen.
I'm hoping.
So tell us about you, and you also have designed shirts.
Yes, so I don't just do watercolor pet portraits. I do acrylic ornaments of pet portraits, but I like to dabble in anything and everything. And I've been very fortunate, like going to Old Rochester and then BCC, where I've been able to try all these different art materials. And so I got into screen printing. And I designed my own shirts for Mattapoisett with like Salty the Seahorse. I have one with Mattapoisett, and then it's in a whale tail, and that's my new design, which I didn't bring a shirt, but I will have them this Saturday at the Mattapoisett Museum, which is my last craft fair, and it's from 12 to 4.
Nice.
So,
Talk about your experience at BCC.
It was great. I did all of my prerequisites there in addition to any and all art that I was able to get my hands on. From design to I even did animation for a little bit. There was one class, I can't remember the name of it, but you had to pick an animal, and then throughout the entire semester, you had to just draw that animal in different, like use facts about them, use different materials, and I chose an armadillo. Like,
interesting.
very out of this world. It was before I had started pet portraits, and I was like, I don't want something furry because it's going to be so difficult trying to get the fur. And I was like, armadillos don't have fur. So, and which is not true because there is an armadillo called the screaming hairy armadillo. So it's one of my favorite animals now.
But BCC opened a lot of doors for you.
It did. I definitely recommend going to BCC, especially because the friendships and connections I made and all of the different classes that I was able to take.
And then you went on to Leslie.
Yes.
Very good school.
It was a very good school, and I still made a lot of connections there, and I was able to try ceramics for the first time, and that's where I also did screen printing.
So did you do some pottery?
I did, and I do have some for sale, and then hopefully I will have my own kiln up and running. My dream is to open my own studio so that people can come in and maybe take a class or just have a space to work, because like I said, I was very fortunate to go to Old Rochester and BCC and then Leslie, but also grow up with a family full of artists, and I was able to try everything. So I really want to bring that into a community.
You had a broad exposure.
I did. And
that many people don't have.
No. And I really want to give back and let people try these different things.
Have you ever done stained glass?
No.
I'm going to be taking a class in a few weeks in mosaics.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
That's going to be fun. Talk about some of your painting, your portraits.
So, I have a couple favorites. So these two were together, as in the same person commissioned them on two different portraits, and their name escapes me again, but I really like painting white dogs.
Why is that?
You would think it would be really, really challenging or really, really simple. But it's more challenging than you'd think, because as you can probably tell, all of my portraits have a plain background, and that's because I really want the animal to shine on its own. So you have to find a variety of white watercolors, and in addition to, I use one gouache as well. And you have to really pick out the layers and see the blues inside of the white, or like a little bit of browns inside of the white. So they're not just white dogs, although you'd think that. So it's fun trying to figure out the mixture of the three different whites that I use to create a piece like this.
That looks to me like it's somewhat like a couvage. Or it might be depending on the angle, it might be a lab. Or whatever, but it's beautiful. You spend a lot of time on your work, don't you?
I do, yeah. They take hours, if not days, and I've definitely progressed a lot. These, from when I did my worked with that shelter, these weren't even the first watercolors I did. Before any of this, it was very plain, simple shapes. You could tell what the image was, but I've definitely progressed over the last 5 or so years.
Watercolor is a very difficult medium to take, to observe and to try out.
That's what I keep hearing, and I do not use it in the traditional sense whatsoever. I like to control what I'm doing and have control over where the paint goes and the details and all of that. And I'm just looking at these because I can remember painting them and having to wait so long for them to dry just so that the colors wouldn't bleed together, because that's not what I wanted.
Your Frenchie is exquisite.
This is actually my mom's coworker's dog, and his name is Odie. And that was her Christmas present last year. And they make great gifts. So.
Have you done any zoo animals? Have you ever gone to Buttonwood Park?
And just sat and sketched?
Yeah.
I have not.
Well, that's something to do.
I would love to do that. I know at BCC we did, we went to a zoo. It wasn't Buttonwood Park, but
Might have been Roger Williams.
I think it was Roger Williams. And we went for a ceramics class. So we had a block of clay, and we had to pick an animal and chisel away at our clay on just observing those animals for the day. So that was a lot of fun, and I definitely want to try to go to a zoo, especially there's one about an hour and a half away that has armadillos. So maybe I'll have some watercolors of those.
Very, very good. I'm becoming very interested in aquatics, in fish.
Okay.
And there are many, many wonderful opportunities for painting for fish.
Especially with the backgrounds. That would be new
And
territory
beautiful
for me.
colors and exquisite colors.
Absolutely. I have not done any fish. Not that, no commissions of fish. I do have.
Talk about some of these. These are beautiful.
I have hermit crabs.
Very interesting work.
And I just did these like as a little side project for myself. But it's funny that you bring up aquatics. So this is what I have of those. But here's a little side by side of the image that I used and then the original watercolor. And this is about a 5x7. But,
Wow.
and
I am amazed. Your work is exquisite. When my brother and I got in the car and were on our way home, I said, that young lady has such beautiful, unique art. I want to see more. I don't. Bring it out.
I have more here
All
as
right.
well.
All right, I want to see some more cats.
I do. I don't just do dogs, even though that's a huge part of my life. We have, this guy is Tick, and he actually has the extra thumb.
Yes.
And he's a family cat. And then we have Mabel, who
is fabulous.
This was a really fun one.
How long does it take you to do a cat?
I'd say about, it depends on the size and then the type of photo I get. So the smaller sizes could take 2 hours, the larger sizes can take like 8. Especially with all of the detail. So it depends. Like a black cat, you're working with shadows, and you're working with sometimes just black or like a Payne's gray, and you're only adding, so the shadows that you see are still the black, but it's lighter layers. So this wouldn't take as long because I'm not sitting there mixing so many colors together.
I am blown away. I'm amazed. Keep going. Beautiful. What a lovely orange cat. Wow. A tortoiseshell.
I'm not familiar with any cat breeds.
Siamese. Lovely.
This was one of the first cats I did, and it was part of a 3 cats on a 12 by 16 portrait.
Do you get a lot of commissions from cat owners?
Yeah, it's more for dogs than cats. I have probably half the amount of cats that I do dogs, which...
We're going to have to start teaching you about the dog breeds because people will be very interested.
I would like to know. I like to hear about people's stories and how they got their animal and like little funny things here and there. And
when I started exhibiting dogs in 1980, the AKC had about 130 breeds. Now they're up to 200. And as a judge, I don't even know all the breeds anymore.
Okay, I don't feel so bad anymore then.
I have to study the night like I judge junior showmanship, which is for classes for the kids from 8 to 18. And I have to study the breeds because, you know, they're not all basset hounds or beagles or whatever. I get breeds that I've never seen.
They're all mixed now.
And they're new breeds.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So we have...
excuse me. Border collies. Getting really real. There is a huge entry today in border collies in Florida. Your border collies are exquisite.
Thank you. This is actually my first set of border collies. And it came just like this. So this is an 8 by 10 and the owner they sent me 2 photos of the dogs separate, and then I just merged them together, and this is what the final result looked like.
And I'm sure the owner was thrilled.
They were. Absolutely.
There are so many good artists in our region.
I agree.
That people don't acknowledge. They don't recognize the talent that we have in our area. And that's why I like to bring people like yourself on here as a venue to let people know of all the good things that we have in our community. And the artists. Look at this. This is unbelievable.
I know we appreciate it as artists, being a part of this
There
community.
are so many venues in New Bedford has many places that where people can observe art.
Mm-hmm. The Kilburn Mills has a lot of good places. For
I'm going
example.
there tomorrow. I am excited to be going.
Oh, good.
There are some wonderful people who exhibit there. Do you have any favorite breeds that you would like to paint?
Oh. Well, chocolate labs. I stay away from painting my own dogs. It's scary.
I would like to see what you can do with some of the terrier breeds.
Okay.
There are the terrier, I call them the legacy breeds, because in many cases, a lot of the lesser known breeds are diminishing. They're not popular anymore.
Interesting.
And people, and I said to someone today, I said, I have an artist coming on today. And she said, ooh, that would be, and she's down south, and she said, that would be very interesting to know. She said, the legacy breeds need some recognition.
Okay.
So I'll be sending you pictures.
Absolutely. I'd love to try painting new dogs and the different personalities that they have. So I welcome any challenge.
And some of the breeds are challenges.
They are. And especially because they're someone's actual animal. These aren't just pictures I'm pulling offline. People know that their dog's personality or cat's personality, and I have to try to capture that. And so far, I've gotten very positive feedback, and in getting their personalities and likeness. So
I am very, very honored to have met you.
I'm glad you did meet me.
When I ever went over to Vogue and everything, and I walked away because there was a lot of people watching, and hopefully buying, and I said to my brother, "We're not going yet. I've got to come back and meet that lady."
And I'm very glad you did.
This show has been very, very instrumental, and I've made many wonderful friends. And I am very honored to have had a part in their journey. What else do you have that you can show us?
I have more dogs. Absolutely more dogs. You might be familiar with this breed. Maybe?
Yorkie.
Yorkie.
Do a lot of people have mixed breeds that want their dogs?
Yes. I'd say about 90% of them.
And they're family pets.
They are. Yeah. So that's why they...
And their family pet is a treasure.
Right.
And after the pet moves on to another life, you keep that legacy alive.
People love coming to fairs and seeing if they can find their animal, or even people who have commissioned me, they'll come and be like, "That's my so-and-so," and they'll grab a card, and it's heartwarming to see their reactions before their animal passes or even after, because now they do have this keepsake.
Okay, show more. Nice.
Oh, that's a duplicate. That's okay.
I saw that at the fair, that one. A Bichon.
That's this one?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you go about, do you study the breeds before you work on them?
I don't. I sometimes, actually, like 90% of the time, I'm not told what kind of dog it is. I just kind of guess. And when I guess, it's like the faces that you usually see. Like, we have a chocolate, a black lab, or like the French bulldog, or who else do we have? Or we have...
Corgis are very popular,
corgis.
Aren't they?
They are. So these were the first 2 corgis that I have done, and the only 2 so far.
Nice.
Or this is my mom's favorite breed, beagles. And funny story about this guy, his name is Eeyore, and he was in his owner's wedding. So if you see, he's wearing like little cufflinks and a bow tie. But
he's part of the family.
He is, exactly. And I love the funny photos that I'm given sometimes, but mostly it's classic images. But these mean the most, the ones with the little bit of personality.
So where are you going next? Do you have a few months off?
No, I am a paraprofessional at the high school.
No, I know that. But I mean, for your next shows, where will you be?
Oh, my next show will be at the Mattapoisett Museum.
Okay, which is this weekend.
Yep, this Saturday.
And then you have the holidays
And
off.
then I have some time off, yes. And my next one will be in February, so.
And you'll be expanding to other venues?
I will, yeah.
Going to be trying anything new? Like maybe fish?
I will. I absolutely will. I'll be going to zoos and...
Have you thought about doing birds?
I have done some birds. I did not bring them, but I've done some parrots.
Wow.
And little parakeets for my friend. So
Nice. Talk about your shirts.
Well, right now I have a line of, I wouldn't really call it a line of clothing, but my own apparel that I designed the design, and I also screen print them myself. I don't use a Cricut, it's just classic screen printing, and the design's on the front, and the same design is on the back, and it's in like the Flow Blue color by Comfort Colors. And I have those available this weekend, but it's fun. That's challenging. That's more challenging than the watercolors, I have to say. But it's all fun, and I enjoy it.
Are there any subjects in that you with watercolors like boat scenes or marine scenes or anything? Or are you sticking to animals?
Yeah, animals is where I belong. It's where it's at for me. It's the subject I like working with, and
you do it very well.
So I'm told.
So you're going to be busy all winter.
I am. I still have one more order to finish for Christmas, and then I am officially done for the season. And it's bittersweet because I like having to do it, not having to do it. They say do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And so that's what I aspire to be doing.
And your work is beautiful. The German Shepherd is exquisite.
Thank you. I do want to talk about this piece, though.
Yes, please do.
This is Tina Fey, and her owner was the very first person who commissioned me to paint their dog with watercolor. And so I am biased in saying that this is my favorite, and it will always be my favorite. She's a pit bull for one, and that's my favorite breed, and it's where it all started for me. So
beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous work. You do sell cards.
I do.
Very good.
At all of my events, not online, but in person.
Are they available in stores?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. I would love to be able to get my stuff out there, but I haven't figured out that part.
We're getting there. Well, thank you very much for having me and coming on the show today. It was an honor to have you.
Thank you. I absolutely loved being here. Thank you for having me.
I will see everybody soon. Have a wonderful holiday, a very blessed Christmas to all. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon on Fur, Fins, and Feathers.